Then the letter is not here. Okay. Then is we call the single stroke. And single stroke, it's actually meaning of that is very important. Okay, I first to say something in Tibet. The you picture to say the picture to jupa say it. Juhi kama juhi na the carriage sena. Tonyuk tawa. Juder tawa sit. Jan shirab ju parrot the shimbaka. Don't do the suyegana. Namkan chodanja. Tombanya se. Namkan chodanja tombanya se. Tes hakogol. Namba kan te chuktung demba tombanyas and the tombanya te hakosona jit nyu mumba sej mundu maripa choma te kechi chikla mepazo tabani mepazo dogren taga tonya kutante togo gores ta tonya te chire chechen karo chikung namjeng karo tombanya Tena hakogumandu. Shirton denizotanala, zemote, tsi dudu shena. Chujen to chunya se chanjo. Chujen se chanji to chunya se chanji ni yole. Chujen to chunya ni se ona. Chujen se the jere. Yote la. Chunjan se the jere to titula. Ti to tenala ti chuchen te kandi yambate hako ta chuchen te yung hako mundu karin sango sona tondu ju pena kaba pumba kumba rirawa kandi tong dena kandi tong dena tong du ju yorewa tin tong du ju to kongla to he ji he na chogre pena gumba do he dato soko Pumba to kaba todo sego. Pumba kaba mato yen upo sego yomare. Tanti pumbande se haso yomana, chuksende se yomana karanda se tandi siezo. Di upo chikte ten la pabion pena kayunda da sena. Kayunda se ta kayunde demba chapare to mare stala zupata. Nda demba matre pa tomba nya korongyan te hakoson. Teni tega tsoma te hakondo se. Cherezido. Chu tamchi chipandarido, randarido. Kayonde dombo kandi yon, pard kandi, tama kandi rindo. Di non yuji shuroku noche yena tere, noche senchen yena tere, doyon tsoma yon tirong yare. Kayonde dombo kandi na jemba ton zonken kali. Pard kayo seji chini, tama kayonde kali zongo. Tandi zodo cho ni jik se chenchule. Kochire zodo di rongyan chi yonde. De la tauchi he yana kayo seji te don danyega tipa mare kayo seji te ming zang togos re matojis de la kayo seji te karo zamma zang re ndala su kayo phoji ke la kayo segre matojis kayo seji de shola yo mare non la yo mare pala yo mar kun no kayo seji te de la rogo marte ta tani dado dan tru gu bche tala kayo seji ming tong mato kayo seji de yuni mata drum manyo pa kayo seji kuru mata mep chade ndala chere de dchen tama dar rere khane kayo tin di chahil tog yindo nena tog yindo dana tog zana goyon tog kayo nde chonchon la dchen seji saya tongkhar chulre tini darchi la chu kayo tog yindo khandi kayo te kharo hema pung na hema mag zuk yala a te mag yenda se Ti no yin kato kayon de la tama pom danya jin de karo Shantang Kayo se changing also Susu he will go Hamola that group chetla Kayo se Ming Tower Mato Kayo se Dembam. Tenzin Takayo teach Korum Ton Duke the Yin Tonson Tombanya Ronyan Rendua Samji Chakona te Yopori Tenzison. Dan de Kayo te Demba Mother Pachi Hala Hachkona then combat with no Yareva. Montun do you tata rindu in the chakamaga di ronyan rajeti dole tozo de tela tombanya se tate shuro ko chu tsoma latino you ton song e chona teni pi rong su de su kaji koyo ta ndo to he ton do ka kayon ton do ka a son dun ken chu le non de na la ni kayon ton do ni ji nyen do su kon do su ton do su son de jo ta tol son lo ton gre donc unité non pas son pas c'est non 5 ko la somme ton kan ti le de non 5 ko ensemble le temps ta somme kan hin kan san kan kuron la somme ngo che pe je ke la kai yu song kan ju jan tong go asan tong kan ji nga ka hin ro ya asan ro go sam kan ju le tel somme ton go de ta te go je re tombo kan hi 파도 말이 형 마형 말이 사도라니 형즈 말이 그런 간의 형즈 인상가 샘그 샘라 저니 더니즈나 다 추진 센스도 주도 주니 세죠 다 쇼를 그 뭐보였나 추진 가요 있나 추진 가요인데 돌아 가시 그 추진 가요인데 돌아 주니 세죠 덴바 마드 파치 가요들 은혜시는 덴바 마드 파 투더 롱연지 레도르 Demba maru tombanya nam control the tombanya rete yana yon ti tondu jo so de zuk tomba wo son je chacha to zuk kayon de tomba nye ndo koru tomba nginde ro choga asana ronkan yo tomba nya la ro secha tomba ko tomba nya la rona rondu ko son da re mato zumo tomba nya re ro ji kayo tomba nya te yana yon che ataken sa they thought so much tombani the him so this is the some jim shap chimbo to use jinsen careers in hiwa toma mepa ndacha dembare tripare upore somni songot to tapi dogna do ma pa pe na malam ka kapsala di kayo ne thonyo na yon jere de ngi kayo thongun du kayo uni rend malam kas chik lamanda yamba jik chu malam ko ka re ko chu malam ko kas kayo thong du de yimada pa demba tomba ni ko rong ka va danger re ngin thong du gundo san ta nom se du kayo kawan ro cha so ka bo yo gu ma ren thong du ju ti no yen de nyum thong du jin to ta hi ye yo na tomba ni ko rong je tong song e wa ni tomba tong chong me pa cha ma yin pa ta so ti nyat te te ha ko ji zu gu yo le res. Okay, now I'm just tell you in English, okay? And here is we call the single stroke. This single stroke means really the meaning is the meaning of the supreme emptiness, okay? Supreme emptiness. Maybe if you like to write it down, supreme emptiness. All supreme emptiness. That means the emptiness is not kind of nihilistic, supreme emptiness. All means it's like past, present, futures. All the times it is superior, supreme. And this emptiness, and also here is this the KUSALI'S accumulation, single stroke. Single means that meaning comes from the second Buddha, the Pajina Paramitas. Paji Paramita is all the time is talking about empty natures. And also it's like a kind of the empty nature is generally speaking normal, ordinary point of view. What do you mean emptiness? And maybe it's that all the phenomena are empty. I don't know, phenomena. Then you need to pick up. If you go to in the monastery and in the Buddhist universities, they all the time talking about vase and the pillar. But maybe we can to take today's example of this cup. And in English language, you say cup, or this cup. But this is not a cup, because you give a name, Libet. And someone says like a kind of, the creator of the labor, like a name, to say we can call it cup. But cup you call is really to analyze. How you call? You call the cup which part? Cup is not this one. This is not a cup. But this one is, there is inside like 4 directions, and up and down. Which part you call the cup? And also this cup itself has so many particles, atoms, and millions of atoms. Which atom you call the a cup? Cup is not this one. This is not a cup. Then why there is something here? This is just you kind of the something is you can to see it, but that is like maybe mentally kind of the projecting. Okay, I can to touch. Look, I can to touch, and also I can to hear the sounds. But your hand is torture itself is empty nature. Emptiness to touching emptiness. Emptiness sounds. And like in the Buddha, he said the dreams. When you be in the dream, you see the cup. You say, oh, I'm holding one cup. Another one person came and to says, yeah, this is empty. No, I'm holding. But in the dream is a dream. I think you have had, surely, last night, I was very bizarre dreams. I'm in the middle of the people, same as like talking like this. And that moment, even the someone's coming to say, oh, this cup is not cup. Yes, stupid, I'm holding. Yes, no, you are in the dreams. No, I'm not dream. I can see, I can hear, I can touch. But in the dream, there is never existent this cup. Then all the dreams seemingly looks like existent, but all is like kind of baseless, rootless, is empty. Therefore, in the second teaching Buddha, in the quoting the Pajina Paramita, say, form is empty, empty is a form. Form is not different emptiness, emptiness is not different. And therefore, that you need to a little bit analyze. You need to have this view. And this view, if you do not analyze, then how it might to kind of receive the principal benefit for your mind. And in the like a luminosity, you could say, interdependent perspective, and the inevitable causalities perspective, you develop the compassion, but still there is clinging. You generate bodhicitta to be kind, to change your like kind of characteristic, but inside you have ego oriented, ego clinging. Still you are holding belief to this existence, and it's very difficult to eradicate it, your like kind of the confusion mind. And therefore you should to analyze. And also is we generally speaking, we're talking about the philosophical. Philosophical is why we are more want to follow up the philosophy, because the more analytical, like kind of you utilize or to analyze everything is, and then what you discovered, what you found. If you do not analyze, then it's ordinary. And for instance, in our Westerns, if you really to study, very easy because you have basic knowledges. If you don't to analyze, and then maybe emptiness, maybe not. And also sometimes you thinking about emptiness is a nothingness, nihilistic way. And sometimes they say it's like, I don't want to enlightenment. What do you mean? I don't want to disappear. What do you mean? I don't want to become emptiness. And they think you practice, then you become emptiness. In the future, you become the emptiness. That is not like this. You realize it or not realize it. Will you really to analyze it in the presently, and we can to look at this phenomena, then how it is that you should to analyze. Then it's like maybe a little bit kind of, now it is like a kind of empty nature. There is like empty nature, interdependence, the causalities, like kind of the combined together, then it's such a kind of the benefit. In the emptiness, wisdom, realizations perspective, you are completely free mind. You like and do not need free to the hell, sufferings. That perspective, you can eliminate emptiness. Like suffering is not really sufferings. If you realize that suffering is emptiness, then why you need to kind of the thinking about something superiorities, be enlightened or go to pure land happiness? If you really to understand the inner nature reality, that is sufficient for you. And in this perspective, there are something inevitable of something kind of the causalities. That is like more kind of the detail. Maybe you fully to realize that the all supreme emptiness, then there is nothing needed to abandon, nothing needed to collect it. You are like kind of the fully free from any activities. And also it's like a kind of no fear, no hopes. Hope and fear is making big problem. Therefore, your mind to making the spaciousness, openness, spaciousness, tolerant, absolutely kind of the penetrated to all the suffering and the happiness. And therefore, here is the principal meaning of the KUSALI'S accumulation. Single strokes. Single means it's the single of the supreme emptiness view. That is the very important to analyze. Okay, the view I have or not. And this view's perspective, if you really to reach this view, you don't need to practice jut. You don't need to practice the KUSALI'S accumulations. Single strokes, a single cut, like single way to cutting things. You cutted all the confusions, and it is like this. For instance, we can normally, often I take example, the nature of the water. For example, some Tibetan guys, they work in big companies, purified the water, they send it back. That normally in the cities, big like kind of the towns, they collect all the toilet waters, so chemical, like polluted waters, to collect it. Then if you will put like two waters, polluted water, unpolluted mineral water, then is ultimately both is the same. But in the temporarily different. The polluted water you cannot drink, clean it. But in the nature water essence point, both is same. Then it's like, okay, it's clean mineral water, you can drink. Polluted water, okay, you need to clean. This Tibet guys, one day are putting in the machine, you cannot enter. So dirty smells. And then this machine start to work to purify these fetals. To go to one, it's like kind of the different machines coming. Last machine, even these companies, the someone to check a drink. And they're so shocked. And beginning is all that these polluted waters come, and they finally at their drink. How it is? But normally we don't know that. They think, we are clean. Because as a nature of the water is there's something you damage it forever, and then you cannot clean. But nature is like this. All the phenomena nature. That is the, Buddhist is like the nature realities, the science of the nature. And then this finally waters, therefore this nature waters perspective is clean water and dirty. The nature water is go to dirty, is never damaged. It's go to the clean, never more cleaned. It's like same as our mind is. It's our mind is like kind of nature mind, go to hell, contaminated, suffered. The nature is never damaged, but they are occurring. Like it's become the toilet, At the moment, our samsaric mind is so complicated, disturbing, is contaminated like that. But this nature itself not. It says Buddha, Master, they say, to clean your mind, to cleanse. Someone desperate, so you say, no, my mind is, don't do like losing your self-confidence, like kind of, to put effort. Therefore, Buddha said it's like kind of, you do not lose your courage. It's to continue to clean your mind. You can clean your mind. Of course, it is some clevers to clean more faster. But this, like we can take example water. Maybe some water is not very much polluted. Someone's very polluted. Someone's extraordinarily polluted. And then you put it in the filter. You need a different type of the filter like this. Our mind in the beginning when we are diluted and then something there is make dirty, but nature is all the times like this. And therefore, now is that we're talking about empty nature. Why you call the nature of the reality, our nature mind, to call the emptiness? Because it's like, it's a free. Nature is you cannot to say this and that. For example, like nature of the water is, maybe it's not water, not kind of, there's something is a nature inside. And this you cannot to say is like yellow, blue, clean, like any kind of stream, like an existent stream or non-existent, or like kind of, it's free from this kind of elaboration. And therefore, it is very, very important to analyze this nature. If you understand this nature realities, one moment, then it's a single struct, and cut all the disturbing emotions, all the obscurations to like kind of the, it's like one moment a light is coming into in this house. For example, in this house, you close like kind of all the windows, there's no luminosities, maybe years. And inside everything is there is. We never see. Certainly light is coming one moment to illuminate it. That's a moment. And like this, maybe in our like kind of the dark house of the mind is like kind of many years, or we don't know, maybe countless eons. And it's like be dark, like house in our minds. But now is these opportunities need to bring self-illuminations in the minds, maybe it's understood this view of the empty nature. It's a single structure. One moment, like kind of the illuminated into your mind is, oh, darkness of the ignorant, and darkness of the confusion, darkness of the disturbing emotion. Everything is one moment is a disappearance. And like a kind of inner is like a realization of the sunlight luminate is coming, and inconceivable things. That is the very important. But I'm now talking about analyze. Most of you are not really analyze. I don't know, it is like how many years we studied, how much you received the benefit to your mind. You are more clingy, more aggressive, more kind of, that is like a negative, sign. And you should to analyze how much I'm reaching in the natural reality of the emptiness. And also each moment to analyze, day, night, all these phenomena are the Buddhas in the relative, he says, you should to realize that in the relative phenomena are like hallucination, like a dream, like a rainbow. Why you are too much clinging to them? If you more clinging, more diluted, more clinging, more sufferings, more clinging. And therefore you should to analyze natural reality. That is this afternoon, there's no teaching. All you need to analyze, okay? Meditate to understood the wisdom of the emptiness. Okay? Tomorrow we need to pass exam. How much you analyze yourself, you analyze your round, what you receive, what you hear. All these forms are the rainbow, hallucination, mirage. They are momentary nature, particles. Whatever you hear is like you hear, but empty nature. How it is like echo. And smell and taste, everything is like this. Look where they are come from, where they are burden, where they are destinations. Everything is going, and the science says the black holes. But where is it going? Where is the accumulated? Nothing, nobody is found. Millions, trillions, they are going something somewhere. Where? In the nature reality. And I made like jokes. One is my student, they asked me, mind itself has a source. Knows. Okay. I said, next answer, yes. Why you say no and yes, no and yes? Mind itself has any kind of the source externally. And that perspective is no. And in innerly, mind is the source, mind itself. Nothing kind of, that you need to discover, okay? I need to stop there. Thank you very much. Sunamda Tomche Zipanya, Tobnini Padanapa, Higananchi Wallam Tupai, Serpent Solin Drokon Drova, Shok Lasso. But then la mi ko set and ba don